This is TVC News Hour. Now, in the last couple of years, the youth seem to have taken their agitation for inclusiveness to a new level with the launch of Not Too Young to Run campaign led by concerned Nigerian youths that is emerging now as a national movement. Their advocacy is to call the Nigerian leadership to encourage youth participation in politics by lowering the age barriers for political aspirations and participation. Of course, let's now bring in a political analyst, Femi Akinwunmi, here in the studios, here with us to talk more about this. Thank you very much indeed for coming.
Thank you for having me.
All right, well, on the evidence of what we have around the world, where you have a 39-year-old, Emmanuel Macron, you know, the president of France, George Weah of Liberia, Trudeau of Canada, it's easy to argue that young people are ready for leadership. But coming back home here, let me start by asking, do you think that the Nigerian youths are ready for the task of leadership?
Thank you very much. I think the Nigerian youths are ready, but I think most of them don't know how to go about it. Because Macron, that you mentioned, has served in various positions before he became president. With his influence, he was able to share his ideas, garner people, and let them share his values. You know, he understood what the old people were doing wrong. He developed his own solutions, values, and policies. He was able to convince people to support him. Now, coming back home, I think we as youths need to have a clear understanding of what we want. It's easy to put any 29-year-old, tell the old politicians to just put there, but the question is, what does he want to do? So what does he know he needs to do? What does he know the country needs?
On February the 3rd, we have the ex-governor of Plateau State, Jonah Jang, who made a comment. He said governance is not for the young. I mean, saying they don't have the experience and pedigree to run. And by the way, he is 70 years old. So do you think that comment actually makes sense?
You see, with all due respect, I don't think, I try not to chastise or criticize what anybody, you see, when somebody gets to 70 and makes some statements, you disregard them. Because, I mean, if you tell him to bring his son, that's 40-year-old, to govern, I'm very sure that man will put the young man there, you understand, but he doesn't want some. So let's disregard. There are statements you need to disregard, you understand, and I think they try to discourage young people from coming in, and I think, like I said earlier, the young people need to get more involved into politics. Before you run, you need to join a political party. You need to understand what they're doing. You need to understand what you need to do. They need to understand what your skills, strengths, attributes are. You understand? El Rufai started at a very young age. He was minister at a very young age. Recently, so let's not go back. So because he got in earlier enough, you understand, and people like Chief Obasanjo saw the values in him, you understand. So in as much as they do not want to give the young people, they do not want to include them, I think we as young men and women in Nigeria should try first join a political party.
And just take it, it's yours.
Join a political party. Let them know who you are, where you're coming from, what you want to do. And let them know they are not threatened. Because if you threaten someone, tell them to just pack their things, go and sit down at home. They won't allow you come.
All right, Akinwunmi, I'm reminded of Plato's theory of state, in which he posited that leadership, it's not by happenstance. Leadership is deliberate, meaning that a leader must be a product of training, a product of education, one whose ideas align with that of the state. I understand you want to run for a position. Have you got all of this? And if not, what are you doing to ensure that this happens?
Thank you very much. You see, some people were born great. Some people aspire towards greatness. Some people have it trusted upon them. So it's wrong to say you need to, if doing something for past 30 years doesn't mean you're doing it correctly. You understand? So that comes to years of experience. But having said that, you see, you can't offer solution when you don't know what the problem, what the problems are. Mine, as an example, I've been into politics for a while. I have shadowed and observed what they do. We try to develop policies, even sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. We try to bring youth together to let them understand their roles and responsibilities, generate conversation right from when you're in the university.
But there's a question
to gather political experience.
But there's a question also of the godfatherism, what we call here, you know, where we have these older people imposing the younger candidates who they've chosen and baptized to be the leader. And I mean, they are the same people ruling in the body of a younger person.
Yes, okay. You see, you could define something good in various ways. You understand? You could see godfatherism, you could see it as mentoring, but like I said, if they feel threatened, they won't give way. So Barack Obama was young when he came into politics, but he had lots of elder mentors around him. Check his cabinets.
Threatened that you wouldn't take the milk off their mouth. Or threatened.
No,
What exactly do you mean by threatened?
Threatened that you don't want to put them on the back seat and just disregard them. So you need to let them understand this is what you have to offer. This is where you are going. This is what you need to do. This is what the people need. Sometimes they listen because they actually, well, some of them have a heart. You understand? So when they see from what position you're coming in, they listen to you. You understand? So, like I was saying, I said, what I am proposing, what I hope should happen is if young people can plead that the older politicians should try give the young people opportunity to lead. Not because they are not capable, that's the elderly one, but because they don't have the strength anymore, they don't have the stamina. Retirement age is 60, I think, so I think that means you need to start resting. Not that you should rest, but you can start advising. If you put a young person there, you will build a cabinet that involves some of these people to advise.
All right,
Okay.
all right, Akinwunmi. Well, my fear is this, as you rightly mentioned, the elders need to begin to give way to the younger ones and come into the mainstream. But my fear is this: in today's culture, where you have young people spending most of their time Twittering, Facebooking, Instagramming, what kind of ideas do you think will emanate from individuals like this who do that, spend most of their time on comment sections of websites?
You know something? My mentor told me once that if you need to transform someone, you can actually transform his weaknesses into strength when you do SWOT analysis. You understand? So you see, Twittering, Instagramming, everything. If it's too much, it takes your time, but you can actually harness it, one, in transferring information quickly. You understand? I mean, if there's something important you need to do now, that's your vehicle. You understand? You can actually harness their weaknesses and turn into strength. But you see, everybody, like in a car, you have different parts. The ignition has its function, the car tire has. So those kind of people, they have their role in democracy. You understand? It's sharing the let's take the better message, you understand? But there are few of them that have the skill, the leadership skills, right from when they're in school, SCG,
Start early.
Yeah, then some people, they develop policies, and so they understand their role and their passion is to see what does the woman need in the community.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Thank you so much, Femi Akinwunmi, for joining us. And I think you both are old. It's called tweeting. The younger people call it tweeting, not twittering. I should correct you. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Femi Akinwunmi, a political analyst from us, thank you very much indeed for coming to share your thoughts.
Thank you for having me.
And we wish you well as well.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, then.